A 170-pound Cane Corso returned 4 times. Every family said the same thing: too dangerous, too unpredictable, too much. The shelter had run out of words for him, and the night they almost ran out of time, a little boy stopped breathing at exactly 2:47 a.m. What happened next will change everything you thought you knew about the most feared breed on Earth. This is Zeus, jet black, 170 pounds of pure muscle and misunderstood soul. Razor-sharp ears that stood like towers, eyes so dark and still they made grown men step back without knowing why. Zeus was 3 years old when the Henderson family walked into Clarksville Animal Rescue for the 4th time in 18 months, not to adopt him, but to return him again. The first family kept him 9 days, said he was uncontrollable. The second lasted a week, said they terrified their guests. The third didn't even make it through the first night. The fourth, the Hendersons, lasted 11 days before they handed the leash back without making eye contact. For 431 days, Zeus sat in kennel number 7. Shelter workers stopped putting his photo on the website, stopped writing descriptions. One worker, a woman named Dana, said quietly one afternoon, "He doesn't even look up anymore when people walk by." He had stopped believing. Then came the Parkers. Ryan Parker wasn't looking for a dog. He was looking for a reason to feel something again. 6 months earlier, his wife had walked out, left him with their 5-year-old son, Ethan, a half-empty house in Columbus, Ohio, and a silence so heavy it had texture. Ethan had stopped asking where mom was. That scared Ryan more than anything. A friend suggested a dog, something to fill the quiet, she said. Ryan almost walked past kennel number 7. Almost. But Ethan didn't. The 5-year-old stopped mid-stride, pressed his small face against the metal bars, and said 4 words that changed everything. "Daddy, he looks sad." Zeus lifted his head, slowly. For the first time in weeks, according to Dana, he stood up, walked to the front of the kennel, and pressed his massive forehead directly against the bars, right where Ethan's tiny hand rested. Dana grabbed Ryan's arm, hard. "I have to be honest with you. 4 families returned him. I don't know what happens inside him. I can't promise you anything. You have a little boy." Ryan looked at Zeus. Zeus looked at Ethan. Ethan was already whispering something none of the adults could hear. Ryan signed the papers 40 minutes later. The first week was chaos. Zeus didn't know how to live in a house. He knocked over the kitchen table on day 1, ate an entire couch cushion on day 2, discovered the bathroom trash can on day 3, and distributed its contents across 3 rooms with what Ryan could only describe as surgical precision. But here's what nobody tells you about a dog who has been rejected 4 times. He watches, constantly. He doesn't trust the walls yet, doesn't trust the furniture, doesn't trust that tomorrow the leash won't appear and the car won't take him back. So he watches the humans. Every movement, every sound, every shift in the air. By day 5, Zeus had mapped Ethan completely. He knew the boy woke up at 6:40 a.m. and always wanted juice before anything else. He knew that when Ethan's cartoons ended, the crying would start, soft, private crying that the boy tried to hide in his pillow. Zeus would find him every time, settle his enormous frame beside the bed, not on it, beside it, like a wall, like something that said, "I'm here, I'm not leaving." Ryan started noticing things, the way Zeus positioned himself between Ethan and the front door whenever someone knocked, the way he never slept deeply, always one ear raised, even in the heaviest part of the night, the way he would follow Ethan to the bathroom at 2 a.m. and sit outside the door until the boy came back out. If you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, honestly, that breaks my heart a little. These stories take everything we have. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what happens next, you need to see. It was a Tuesday in February. Ethan had gone to bed with what seemed like a minor cold, a little congested, slightly warm. Ryan checked on him at 11 p.m., sleeping fine. He went to bed himself, exhausted from a double shift. At 2:47 a.m., Zeus started barking. Not his alert bark, not the low warning rumble he used for strangers near the fence. This was different, sharp, frantic, continuous, the kind of sound that bypasses your brain entirely and lands somewhere older, somewhere primal. Ryan stumbled down the hallway. Zeus was outside Ethan's door, throwing his full 170-pound body against it, again and again. Ryan threw the door open. Ethan wasn't moving. His lips had turned a pale, ashen color. His small chest was barely rising. A severe allergic reaction, triggered by something in his cold medication, had begun closing his airway while he slept, silently, without a sound. Ryan called 911. Paramedics arrived in 6 minutes. The doctor at Columbus Children's Hospital said it plainly. 10 more minutes and we would have been having a very different conversation. 10 minutes. Zeus had been barking for 11. Nobody in that house, not Ryan, not the paramedics, not the doctor, could explain what Zeus had detected, whether it was a change in Ethan's breathing pattern, a shift in body temperature, a scent change that only a dog's 300 million olfactory receptors could register. Science doesn't have a clean answer, but Zeus did. The same dog 4 families called too dangerous, the same dog who spent 431 days in kennel number 7 while the world walked past, the same dog who stopped believing anyone was coming. He had been waiting this whole time for the one night that mattered. Ryan brought Ethan home 3 days later. Zeus was at the door before the car even stopped. He didn't jump, didn't bark. He sat perfectly still in the doorway, all 170 pounds of him, and waited until Ethan walked through. Then he licked his boy's face exactly once, turned around, and went to lie down beside his bed. Back on duty. Ryan Parker sat in the kitchen floor that night and cried in a way he hadn't let himself cry in months. Not from fear this time, from something that felt like the ground coming back under his feet. He had walked into that shelter looking for something to fill the quiet. He came home with something that guarded it. Today, Ethan is 7, Zeus is 5. They share a bed that was definitely not designed for a 170-pound Cane Corso, a fact Zeus appears completely unaware of. He takes up approximately 80% of it. Ethan takes the remaining 20% and calls it fair. Every night without fail, long after the house goes dark and Ryan checks the locks and the world outside keeps moving, Zeus is there, beside that bed, ears raised, watching, waiting. Not because he was trained to, because he chose to. 4 families called him a monster. A 5-year-old boy pressed his hand against the bars and said he looked sad. That boy is alive today because a dog that everyone gave up on never gave up on him. Some stories remind you that being feared and being dangerous are not the same thing. Zeus was never dangerous. He was just waiting for someone worth protecting. And when the moment came, at 2:47 on a February morning, he didn't hesitate for a single second. Would you have given Zeus a 5th chance? Or would you have walked past kennel number 7 like everyone else? Tell me in the comments.